Hey again, this is Andy from potatoesandpearls.com, and in this video I'm going to do something a little bit different than I normally do. I am going to show you all how to make vegetable lasagna, and with this vegetable lasagna I make single servings, and I make it in such a way where it can be microwaved the next day for lunch and it still has great flavor. Very similar to the Stouffer's vegetable lasagna, but I'm going to show you how to make it for yourself so you don't have to keep buying processed microwave food and you can have this fresh meal. The mix that goes into the lasagna is very easy to put together. I once again cook for normally just myself or one other person. So I use 8 ounces of ricotta cheese and I mix that together with 1 regular serving bag of mixed vegetables. Now the mixed vegetables I use for this particular lasagna is one that normally has broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots in it. I don't think like corn or string beans belong in a lasagna, so I don't use those mixed vegetables. I definitely use once again the broccoli, cauliflower, and carrot mixture. And so I just blend that all together and mix it up. I add in a little bit of salt. I add in some garlic powder, I add in some pepper, and I do add in some olive oil just to give it give some type of liquid in there to loosen it up a bit so it's not just like heavy glop, and it makes it a little bit easier to spread. And so I just make sure that all of that is blended together. And just note, I do cook the vegetables ahead of putting it in the bowl, so they're cooked vegetables, they are not frozen. Next, I'm going to go ahead and make the Alfredo sauce for the vegetable lasagna. While I'm making this, I do have my lasagna sheets cooking on the stove, so you want to make sure that you get that going while you're making the Alfredo, or even while you're mixing together the vegetables. You do want to make sure that you cook your lasagna sheets to al dente. And so with the Alfredo, I'm using heavy cream, butter, Parmesan, salt, and pepper. And so I make my Alfredo sauce for this lasagna a little liquidy, just because I'm making it with the purpose of reheating it later. I'm making these for lunch. This is not something I eat right away. So with the sauce being a little bit more liquidy, when it reheats, it's not going to harden or crust up like some other type of thicker sauce could possibly do in the microwave. So it's just more of a personal preference. I still like to have that Alfredo sauce to like get on my pasta and seep and mix in with the ricotta. And so when it's like that thick, heavy Alfredo sauce, it could do other things when you reheat it in the microwave, and I just don't want to take that risk. So it was about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter, about a cup to a cup and a half of heavy cream that I put in there to kind of get that liquidy consistency, and I just don't put in as much Parmesan cheese. Next is to put the lasagna together. I use these mini pans to do that. I've put lasagna in here before. I've also done meatloaf in these pans. They make great portion control pans where it's like 1 serving of lasagna. That makes it great for lunch. It even makes it great for if you're using them and you're making them for dinner. Everybody gets their own pan of lasagna. It's great for preventing leftovers because normally people make lasagna in those huge pans. So just once again, really great for portion control. As you can see, I've put a piece of pasta as the bottom layer of the lasagna, and then I've put some of the ricotta mixture on top. I put another piece of lasagna pasta on top of that, and that's when I start to add in the Alfredo sauce. Because it is a little more liquidy than normal, I don't like to have it on the bottom. I'd like it to kind of seep throughout, if that makes sense. and then I put in another layer of the ricotta mixture on top of that Alfredo sauce, and then I put in another layer of the pasta, and I put some of that Alfredo sauce on top as well. So once again, it's seeping through instead of like sitting in the sauce. And then I take some mozzarella cheese and I sprinkle that on top. I want to make sure the mozzarella cheese is covering the whole top so you get that nice gooey cheesy layer outside of the ricotta. And now you have completed your lasagna, and I'm going to show you what toppings I put on. So once again, I don't like crispy, crunchy pasta, but I do like a crunchy topping on top of my lasagna. So I go ahead and add a little bit of breadcrumbs on top. I just sprinkle a little bit across it, and I add a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit from the bottle. I don't dump it on there. And then the last thing that I add, which this is totally personal preference, or if you even have it in your pantry, is everything but the bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's. I love this stuff, and I love to add it on top because it adds that like salty, garlicky little hint of flavor that I need. The lasagna went in at 350 for about 10 minutes. With the smaller pans that I'm using, it was quicker for everything to melt together faster. If you are using larger pans, I would probably give it anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to get melted together. And here is the finished product. I have these disposable microwave containers to put my lasagna in, but if you don't have these, you can always put it in any container you prefer, or you can eat the lasagna right away straight out of the oven. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little different than what I normally do, but I love making these, so I just wanted to share it with my audience. And if you like other food videos, travel information, home stuff, things like that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all next time.